will begin with the Spirit, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want.
After high school, I want to go to college. After I get out of college, I'm either going to be a teacher or a lawyer.
Okay, what I want to do when I graduate from high school, I want to become a video game designer.
But I want to be an obstetrician.
I want to go to college and be an artist.
I want to be a forensic scientist. Maybe draw a couple of comics in my spare time.
I'll be a cartoonist.
I want to go to college, and then I want to be an entrepreneur.
I want to go to college to be a pediatrician.
We started University Prep back in the fall of 2000 in the basement of a church which frankly is in a pretty run-down neighborhood. But we learned that it's not really the neighborhood of the building that matters. It's the kind of nurturing, the care, the concern, the relationships that really make the difference. Because our schools are so small, and because there's always adults here who know that child so well, we're able to individualize the learning. And the reason we started University Prep is to make sure that there's a way to graduate every single student from high school and send everyone on to post-secondary education.
UPA is really sincere when they say, drop in and see how your kid is doing.
Yeah. They feel secure and safe, and that's one of the other things that also makes me feel good, to know that she's here. If there's a parent anywhere around, my daughter is in good hands. She's safe.
We wanted a more individualized program, similar to what you do when you homeschool. So that was the biggest part in us, deciding to come to UPA.
I've been very, very pleased. I couldn't be happier.
I think that UPA is more than a school. It's a system that should be offered to more parents, and it should be a system that is replicated in more schools around the city. We need it more than perhaps some other places need it, because we've had such a challenge in getting our kids educated, and so we've got a lot of catching up to do. And I think that UPA can help the city of Detroit to improve the quality of life, not just education, but the whole quality of life for families in this city.
University Prep is based on an education approach of one student at a time. Every student who comes in this school is different, has different skill levels, different ways of learning, different interests. By being able to organize learning for each kid individually, we can make sure they stay in school and move on to college.
I think it's important to individualize, because realistically, none of us are the same. I mean, your interests may not be the same as mine. We both can be avid learners, but at the same time, we have different approaches to how we want to get those things accomplished.
We look at each student as a person with needs, with desires and passions and interests, and that's something that doesn't normally happen in traditional school.
Well, I was interested in law because my main interest is politics, and with politics you definitely have to know the law, so I did a job shadow there. And right now, currently, I'm working with Congressman Conyers downtown at his Detroit congressional office.
When I go to the Wayne State University, it is amazing seeing like different college people walking around. But what they do is that we have like this big assembly in the morning, and they will describe to us like how we'll be for that day, and they tell us that we have our own responsibility.
One of the most ways that UPA has affected me is by that they love it and they care about me, about the ways that when I do something wrong, they never like turn their back on me and say, "Oh, you got to go" or whatever. They always let me have another chance after chance after chance after chance, and that's what I like about UPA.
I've never heard my child tell me before that you're disturbing me. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm doing homework. So the school is really having an effect on them in the school as well as at home, and I really appreciate that. I really like that.
I think University Prep represents the best of what the charter school movement was designed to do, which is to pull together research-based practices that we know work and put together an entire approach in a way that will lead to not just learning but persistence in school and graduation.
Ashley Gordon had an announcement.
The UPA choir concert is on Friday at 7 o'clock in Bethel Church.
We're going to have circle time, which is our advisory's chance to talk about issues important to advisory. Sometimes I bring up a topic like I'm going to do today. We're going to talk about what community means in advisory. We kind of gauge what's going on in advisory with the interpersonal relationships that the kids have, work out small problems, big problems.
Think back to when you first came into UPA. How was being in an advisory different from, say, like your homeroom or like your 5th grade class or your 4th grade class? How was that different?
More relaxed than a regular school. Like when I first came to UPA, when I came to your class, it was like I had already felt welcome. People was saying hi, I didn't even know them or anything. It was just like being at home.
In the past, I wasn't a big fan of working with other people. I prefer to just go sit somewhere by myself and do what I have to do. But now that we're closer together, it's easier for me to go to people and just ask them things.